Hello everyone and welcome back to On the Beat. I'm Stephen Bailey, as always joined by David Wilson. We'll be headed over to the Carrier Dome in about an hour, where Syracuse will take on Georgia Tech in its home finale. The Orange has lost 3 of its last 4 games after starting 25-0, and will wrap its season at Florida State on Sunday. What do you think the keys are for tonight's game? We've seen SU is essentially playing its as poorly as it has all year. Jeremy Grant's got a sore back. We're not sure if he's going to go tonight. What can the Orange take from this game?
I think you got to beat Georgia Tech pretty well. Without Jeremy Grant, it's a little bit different. If he's not going to play, you probably aren't expecting to beat them up as badly, but it's a good chance for Tyler Roberson to get some minutes then. Ideally, Syracuse doesn't need him if Jeremy Grant gets healthy, but it is good to have that guy as a backup plan. I think that's a big thing you have to see, and obviously you'd like to see them win pretty well tonight.
And aside from all the senior night stuff, Jeremy Grant really is the big story heading in. He hasn't played in either of the last 2 second halves, and we saw a little bit of Roberson against Maryland. He played like 3 minutes, had a couple baskets, looked pretty good. Now people are talking about, hey, should Syracuse have been playing him more? So how, if you're Jim Boeheim and you're faced with this conundrum here, I've got Jeremy Grant with a sore back, there's nothing structurally wrong. Do you play him in these last 2 games to try and get another win, or do you kind of err on the side of caution and say maybe, we'll wait, we'll let Roberson get some minutes, and we'll have Jeremy hopefully healthy for the tournaments?
I think you err on the side of caution. If you get one of these next 2 wins, you probably are locked in that number 2 seed in the ACC tournament. And the committee, they'll look at it, see Syracuse doesn't have Jeremy Grant. Worst case, losing to Georgia Tech would be bad either way, but Florida State, maybe if you lose without Jeremy Grant, it's not the end of the world. Committee looks at that, seeing you're playing without your 3rd best offensive option. Starting a freshman who's barely played. As long as Jeremy Grant is back and healthy, then I don't think it affects their seeding too much.
And the other big thing tonight is it's senior night, and CJ and Bai Musakita are the 2 seniors that play. We also have Nolan Hart,
Ruster-Reamer,
yeah, of course. The 2 walk-ons will also be honored. Do you think, I forget who it was, I don't think it was Jim, but one of the head coaches was saying, in these games, the seniors always kind of look for their shots. It was Jim. He was talking about the Maryland, the Virginia seniors. He was talking about Joe Harris. That's right. Do you think CJ and Bai show any of that at all, where they look for their shot a little more? I'm
not sure, because CJ's going to shoot a lot anyway, and Bai, he's only ever going to shoot pretty much when he gets put back opportunities. I would think they'll play pretty well tonight. Sure. Georgia Tech's not a great team. It's a team that they could probably take advantage of. CJ has actually been playing relatively well, considering Syracuse's struggles. I think it's a good opportunity for him to have a big day in his last game in the Dome.
Yeah, I think Georgia Tech's not a very good matchup for Syracuse's own, but we'll get to predictions. How do you think tonight plays out?
I think Syracuse wins pretty big, by 15 or so, depending on if Jeremy Grant plays.
Yeah, I'll agree. I just don't think Georgia Tech is anyone to put in the high post, really, and they don't have the shooters. Even you saw Boston College team, not a great team. That's how they beat Syracuse, because they're a pretty good matchup. Georgia Tech's not a good matchup. So for those who aren't going to the game, again, it's on ESPN3. And be sure to follow us on Twitter @DOSports and check dailyorange.com for coverage of the game. Thanks.